Exactly. And the only thing it really is doing is sort of sucking attention from things which I believe that the royals would rather focus on. So Charles is out at COP today, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later. You know, he's very climate-minded. Very climate-minded. I'm sure that he would rather people focus on that rather than these spurious allegations in the book. But you're right, no one's seriously saying the royal family's racist in this scenario.
The king is in Dubai delivering his strange version of not being political. Unbelievable. This apolitical king, he's a green fanatic.
Do you know what?
By the way, Your Majesty, I don't agree with you.
As much as I'm sort of not really up for his tree-hugging ways, I still think it's quite a decent sign of the relevance of the monarchy and the stature of Britain on the international stage that he is the person being invited to give the opening address. Think what you like about climate change and COP28. I think that in itself is quite important.
Yeah, and listen, Charles has made a lifetime of sort of stretching to the margins, that notion of not commenting on politics and being completely neutral. Obviously, climate change is something he feels very strongly about. It's no secret. What he's doing is he's not being party political. He's not taking sides, really. He is saying that it's up to the world to rally together at this summit. And you're right, for Britain's monarch to go over there, also head of the Commonwealth, which is incredibly important. It makes up a lot of those 200-odd countries that are going to COP this week. I think it's quite good that Charles is there on the world stage.
Yeah, kind of. I just, he demands that we sort of comply with his orthodoxy, and I don't accept most of the things he says about climate change, and this is the problem, that this kind of ludicrous gathering, COP28, begins from the premise, unless we do something right now, we're all going to be dead in a week. Well, I don't accept that, and people like me don't get a look in when it comes to COP28, nor you.
No, that's true. Are you there, like, burning your wood fire every night, living your best life?
yeah, roaring around in my diesel car. But I mean, for God's sake, look at COP26, which is in Scotland. Joe Biden turned up to the president to help save the world in a 50-car convoy. All of them guzzling gas like there's no tomorrow.
The British government sent 3 planes over there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's this festival of hypocrisy.
It is.
That people do not accept. It's that these elites in their private jets, personal jets, flying out there to save the world, and it's in Dubai of all places.
I think the most mad element of all of this is the fact that the guy that Dubai... the fact that Dubai's hosting it anyway is mad.
It's a joke.
But to add insult to injury, the guy that they've got organising the thing, the compare, if you will, is the CEO of their biggest oil company, who's like, let's sell a bit of stuff on the side, shall we? And one of the people he wants to sell to is none other than eco-fanatic Justin Trudeau. Oh, how the mask slips.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is it, isn't it? That we know that oil deals are being made at COP28 because it's handy there, because it's in Dubai. Everybody that attends COP28, these COPs, doesn't seem to give a damn about the environment. They're all flying in their private jets, roll around in their diesel convoys, and but the rest of us are required never to get on an aeroplane, not to drive cars at all, and to completely change our lifestyles in order to save the planet. But all these elites, no, they can carry on.
Yeah, and we spoke to Downing Street this week about this perceived hypocrisy, and they say, well, we're not anti-planes, and people can go to planes, they can go on holidays, we can use them to fly to international summits. However, the bigger picture is that conversations need to be had. I think the UAE is a massive oil producer. That is no secret. And, we need oil, in the next few years. We're not going to be able to, survive on eco-energy alone, because we're not at that stage yet. But, to be fair, to put the other side of the argument, the UAE has become the biggest net contributor to this new lost and damaged fund, which will basically support poorer nations who can't deal with climate change as well, or potentially bear the brunt of climate change in the last few days. My question is what's happening with China. I think that's where the scrutiny should be.
I'll tell you what's happening. They're not there. They're not there. Nor's Biden.
Pull the other one when it comes to the UAE. OPEC have been ramming up oil prices, making the most out of the invasion of Ukraine to impoverish everyone who needs to buy from them. And then they hand out a few coins to some poor countries. This is just sort of greenwashing and modern imperialism, frankly.
Yeah, and to be fair, that is the argument a lot of people will be making. And you're right, OPEC has become very political, and they do ramp up oil prices quite a lot, when it suits them. However, they have won plaudits over the past few days for this loss and damage fund. However, I completely understand the hypocrisy here, and it's a debate, isn't it? It's a debate which is going to suck attention away from the issues.
What do they achieve, these COPs? I mean, you remember 2 years ago when it was here, or at least in Scotland, Alok Sharma weeping at the end of them because he didn't feel that they'd achieved the eco breakthrough that he was hoping for. So what did that achieve? Nothing. What did COP27 achieve in Egypt? Nothing, I would suggest. What will this one achieve? Nothing. Just a lot of elites jaw-jawing, virtue signalling, telling them themselves, convincing themselves that somehow they're saving the planet, just completely out of touch with the rest of us. Elites, hypocrites, one and all.
I think it's about a sensible move towards. It's about sort of getting to net zero sensibly, isn't it?
We don't have to fly around the damn world in private jets every year to do this, once a year. It's a freebie conflab. That's all it is. They could do it on Zoom.
That is true. However, they are the government, and at the end of the day, they do have to go to international summits. It's not just COP they fly to.
Joe's not there.
They fly to, maybe that's a reflection of the United States rather than the British government. But I think that they do have to fly to summits all the time. We fly around the world to stuff like the G20, the G7. It's not just COP, which we're suddenly just, using planes to go to in some big, we're hypocritical. I think that Rishi Sunak